reduce down from the veto that is currently going on. We can work out where this is going to occur. The first ban will come out. That is Radix going to be removing Nuke.
Yeah, fair enough. Method like Nuke. Radix also like Inferno. They played the versus Efficiency 3. Method going to ban that one. Radix banning Overpass. Method, they love a bit of Overpass, even though they lost it to Reason and CX. Method are banning Mirage. Obviously learnt their lessons from the upsets from Team Descent. Radix banning Cobblestone. Cobblestone's a very staple map for Method, a map where Genko and Pulse are very good on. Method removing Overpass. Ooh. That's interesting. Why did they remove Overpass? Who did Radix? It was Mirage, yeah. So,
yeah.
Okay. Method remove Overpass, I guess because they lost versus CEX and Reason on that map. They don't want to go near that one. They want to bring in Cash. We haven't seen Method play Cash so far in the Premiership. I can see that happening. But yeah, I mentioned before, just before the vetoes, that we could be seeing Cash, and here it is. Don't know. I still think it favors Method, a team where they're bringing in a sub. Obviously, they're going to lack a bit of structure. Then again, Radix such a new lineup. They're going to lack structure. This could easily be 16-9. I want to say a 16-7 in favor of Method, but who knows? Bringing in a new player, bringing in Surreal as the sub for tonight, the super sub essentially. Yeah. That should spice things up, and obviously you have that little bit of a honeymoon period. So
it's true. Surreal as well, like basically just an explosive player. Him and Def were a very similar story because it was basically two very high aggressive style impact fraggers that you knew you could pick up, throw into a team, and that's what it was. And they both were in that complexity roster for a while. Obviously with Surreal as well, more commonly we did see him dominate with the AWP. He actually was very effective with the weapon. So it's going to be interesting what role he's going to fill here.
I spoke to Surreal and he said that actually he was picked up for complexity to be a rifler.
Yeah.
Back when they had Whitmer. Then obviously they removed Whitmer and they brought in Desi back then? Was it Android? It was Android.
Yeah, it was Android.
This is back when Death was with cooling, wasn't he? And then Surreal was obviously moved to AWP because no one else wanted to do it. So Surreal was put to the AWP, and obviously he's still very talented with that weapon. Similar to like a Fryer, I guess. Very gifted with all the guns, and he's put into the AWP position. But yeah, I mean, question is tonight, is he going to be using the AWP? Is he going to let it over to your Genko, your Nilzinho, or your Pulse? Just having focus on the rifle and headshot people.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same story of all the players in this team. Nilzinho being the only exception, where they are incredibly well-versed with every weapon. They can just rotate out on the fly, decide how they want to take it. They do have a big playbook, and Nilzinho is one of these in-game leaders that will attempt to micromanage you, very support-heavy, but they can also just play off the back of a dime and go very reactive style.
Yeah, I mean, Method is a team where they can switch things up very fast, very experienced, versatile lineup, complete lineup in a sense. You got those players who can really wield all the guns. I mean, now that Weber could AWP as well. I mean, a map like Mirage, he was AWP. And even on Cash, if you remember, Pulse would AWP towards B. Weber would AWP towards A. They'll put Nilzinho, Genko, and Stanley in middle.
Yeah.
And then they basically had the two AWPs as anchors, a typical Cash setup. They played the 1-3-1 style, but Weber was one of the AWPers. So maybe if Surreal plays that, or fills in the gaps, basically plays towards the A side on the CT side, and AWPs as the anchor there.
Yeah, it's true. It's going to be interesting to see, obviously, with Cash being the map that it's going to go down on. Method, known for their aggression towards mid. Always constant takes towards mid there on Cash, really. Heavy hitters. In the past, it has been quite reliant
Cash has been one of the best maps in the past.
Yeah, it has been reliant more so on players like Genko these days to actually take the aggressive opens.
Yeah, towards middle, especially on the T side, it does really rely on Genko and Stanley's entries towards middle and how they control mid. If a team doesn't let them have mid for free, so they play the 1-3-1 setup, or they play... it depends, really. So, Endpoint found success versus Method when they gave up mid, if you remember, in the Elite Series. They gave up mid. They would have Imi AWP from quad. They would play aggressive towards a main. They would have either Max, whatever, playing towards CT to hold off for the connector push. Imi would AWP on the A site. And they basically split it up where they had Imi move from mid to A, and then one of the A players, I believe it was Max anyway, moved towards connector and hold that push. So the way it was they gave up mid to the T's, Method, and they wanted Method to walk into their scopes. They wanted them to push onto the side, onto Imi and Pickles, and basically get annihilated as you try walk through those tight choke points. Yeah,
that's the thing. Very sort of strategy heavy in those sort of scenarios. But then, force out the push.
But then Method just roll over you if you give them the entries towards mid. As soon as they get that one kill there, it's a 5 versus 4. They will instantly split towards B, have a 5 versus 2 advantage on the B bomb site. B site is notorious for being very hard to retake. Very stark contrast compared to A site, especially when Monies is one on your CT side. But go towards B, fast B splits. Then again, if you give up highway control, Stanley loves to lurk towards highway. If you remember, every single time we're casting him, even when they go for the B splits, they still have Stanley lurking towards Highway, getting those rotation kills.
Yeah. Thing is as well, obviously, with Surreal, the difference in that role being as well, Weber was kind of your glue in the team in a lot of senses. We did see him being able to pull out some huge rounds off the back of his clutch plays. Very good in those environments. That skill does pass over to Surreal because he knows how to pull those rounds up. The only thing I'm thinking is there a little bit of a loss in dynamic now between, say, Nilzinho and Weber, where they could bounce their heads back and forth, possibly bring those ideas up. You know, Weber is very vocal in his playstyle. You know he was bringing something to the table no matter what it was. No,
you are right there. I was going to bring up the point about how is the calling going to work now?
Yeah.
Is there going to be more freedom for Nilzinho to make up all the calls? Is Surreal going to put his input in instead of Weber? Now that Weber's obviously not here. I mean, we could just be looking way over this.
Yeah.
This could just be a simple, Weber's got the flu.
Possibly.
Can't play. Big ol' Kia, Surreal's in to replace him. Or it could just be something more than that.
Could be anything. You have to wait and see.
Exactly that.
See how it actually starts to shape up. Things with Surreal as well, in terms of his personality, he is actually quite a laid-back player. He's not too, he's not one of these players that's going to be causing issues in the team.
Nice guy.
Yeah, he is a very nice guy. He's very calm, cool, collective. He only speaks his mind when he needs to.
Yep.
He will keep himself to himself and just play to his best, which is something that this Method team could possibly benefit for. They don't have as many voices bopping around. They have someone more like a Fry once again. They have someone that will do the hard work, grind through it, but also keep himself, grounded.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Weber known for being rather opinionated, and then Surreal, obviously, never teamed with him.
Yeah.
Can't really comment on anything like that. Same goes to Weber, of course. It's just hearsay. But thing is, with Kia or Surreal, he seems like somebody who's very quietly confident.
Yeah.
So like, he's not gonna fire up an argument, create chaos within a team or whatever, or be abruptive in a sense. Calm, collected, but confident. So has confidence in his plays, does play rather aggressive, very good with AWP for running the first opening picks, especially on the T side as well. I mean, I remember like a lot of his breakout performances in the NA Pro League was a similar time when Crucial went to Splice. And I remember the old complexity of Cobblestone. They used to be on Cobblestone, and it was all down to Surreal's AWP. But that was months and months and months ago, obviously. That must have been... When did Splice happen for Crucial?
Sort of towards
December?
the end of 2016,
November?
late December, yeah.
Yeah, it was after an Epic LAN.
Yeah, I remember.
That was before I started casting.
It was
wow.
when Rasta picked up.
It was like 8 months ago. Yeah. So it was going to be, 8 months ago? But obviously, once Crucial was there. So it would have been around December, January, sorry. So about 6-7 months ago, we really started seeing Surreal step up. And obviously, things didn't end in the best way. Was eventually cut, and now he's back in the United Kingdom. Then again, right, you take all the pressure off of him. He's no longer got this staple or this, what's the word I'm looking for?
He's not forced to represent complexity and have to step up because it's such a big brand.
It's not just that, but like one of the issues you have sometimes is you want a fresh start just because your name is tarnished in a sense. And you have stereotypes in the team. You want a fresh start to prove yourself and just wipe things clean.
Yeah, it's true. But right now, we are going to be taking a short break whilst things get wiped away and ready to go. And we'll be back in with the action to see if Surreal is going to live up to the hype. What up, peeps? Welcome back. It's been a bit of a long one, but we're ready. It's almost time to kick it off with the first game. The first elbow is going to be dropped.
There we go.
Straight onto the head of Radix. Or will it be Radix that will be role reversing and then pinning Method down and saying, well, that's a 10 count, you're out?
I don't know if that's what.
That's wrestling.
Yeah.
That's wrestling for you, mate.
Yeah, I thought it was like Mortal Kombat or something. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Anyway, yeah. Cash, Method versus Radix.
Yeah.
Obviously, looking at these teams on paper, you're thinking, oh, how on earth does Radix even stand a chance? But then again, you're looking at the recent form from Method, it's been awful, to say the least.
You could say it has been quite surreal.
Well, I guess that goes both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, surreal's usually in a good term.
Well,
this time,
I've done it
this
now.
time it's
too late. It's too late.
Yeah.
Deal with that.
So, surreal's in. Weber is out. Obviously, it could be a sub situation or further. Who knows? But yeah, right now they are 0-3. They need this win in the back.
And we're finally in, ready to play the game. It is going to be Cash. Method are going to be CT's Radix on that T side. Snods, what's going on here?
Fights to Kev on the T side as they rush towards B. It's a fast one here, Jack.
Sprinting their way through as they want to try and take that side control early. Pulse actually very low to kick this one off. Nilzini on Pulse coming to effect though. That's going to be Dream that fires back to take down Pulse. Stanley in the elevated angle does a little bit of damage as well. Jenko punishes them. Surreal finds his first frag as he will take down Dream. And they do get through it with only one casualty. A fairly fast pistol round there going the way of Method.
Team Ace as well coming out there from Team Method. Strong start with the sub. Obviously, this isn't your normal sub. We've seen Ruler sub in, we've seen Echo sub in. This is Surreal, obviously one of the two highest played UK players. Well, before he got dropped from Complexity, of course, and now he's back in the UK trying to make a dent once again, and obviously make it up in the top of the UK scene. God, Dream with a ridiculous name, with a ridiculous gun, going for a ridiculous shot there towards Jenko, but can't quite land it just yet.
No, not just yet, but maybe in a few years as he holds on.
So 5 versus 5 now, 1 minute 30 on the clock, bomb towards Boost, and usually, we're casting a Method on the T side that you go towards Boost. They boost up Jenko and Stanley, but this time it's going to be other players from that Radix side. Let's see what they can do with these upgraded pistols.
Stanley did try and find the first opening kill here. Wants to just farm that cash with the SMG if possible. Jenko kills Dream though, so they're not going to get too much of a money bonus off the back of that, but at least they have claimed the first frag. Radix, they need to just throw a little bit of a spanner into the works into this round, essentially, just hope for the best. Should have killed Stanley there, but Jenko does actually save him.
Yeah, should have, of course, there. Jenko does save Stanley. It's going to be still 5 players alive right now for the Team Method side. Stanley is low HP, but obviously for the CT side, it's about the money right now. 3 versus 5. 2 players have been dispatched from the Radix side. The remaining players have Kevlar, but no utility to close out this round. It's going to be 2 players there towards Boost. Put a Boost to Deagle over there for Eccles. Try and get a frag. Try and see if you can spot a kill anywhere. Jenko will peek. Eccles will lose a duel. It's still going to be 2 versus 5.
So easy for him to find these frags right now, but the best case scenario is Radix aren't being killed by the SMGs. They're getting none of this additional bonus. It's only been the 1 frag we've actually seen come out. It's not actually a single frag on the SMGs at the end of the round. It's purely based off those M4s. Jenko's going to find a 4K. Surreal will get a second frag of the game. But at least they're not building up that economy too much. So Radix, as long as they get a bomb plant down, give themselves a bit of a kickstart, maybe it can still work back in their favor. Yeah,
one thing to note as well is the discipline play there from Stanley. Obviously, he's playing versus a pistol with the SMG. Most players in the scenario just wide face and go for the kill because they care about stats. But Stanley sees the bigger picture, he stays alive, saves himself $3,000 worth of investment there. He's on 1 HP, didn't go for the reface, he's waited for a teammate to kill him instead. But already, it's going to be 5 players towards the middle from the T side. CTs, though, they have control of their mains. They're going to realize something's quite up.
Still no utility for them, though. They had to skimp into this round, and bursting their way out dry with Jenko there really isn't going to go their way, you'd imagine. Jenko struggles a little bit, and they actually do take that vent control. Flood in, but they're just running straight into the waiting arms of Nilzinho. Jenko still able to rotate round as well. Jenko will go down to Dream, but all he has is that P250. He cannot even recover the M4 and try and bring some sort of shenanigans off the back of that, as he's just trapped in. Surreal will eventually eliminate him. That's all 3 rounds claimed now, but this is where it needs to get real for Radix.
Money is strong right now for the Method side. Obviously having 5 alive versus the Force by 4 alive versus the full eco means their money has been building. They're going to be investing into 2 NWP, so that will completely demolish what money they had on 2 players. It's still going to be 5,000, 6,000 onto the remaining 3 players on the Method side, but nevertheless, it's going to be the 5 AK buy coming in from Radix. Obviously, all 5 players forcing to round number 2, which means no AWP into play from the T side and 2 for the CT side. Are they going to go for the standard play? 1 towards B and 1 towards A, and no, they're not. Jenko's going to be AWP towards Connector. It's going to be a 2-2-1 setup, and Pulse is going to be anchoring towards B, a lonesome with the AWP.
Pulse Normally very effective with the weapon though, so if they do try and rotate back over, take that fight through vent towards that B-bomb site, he normally can hold them off. Buy enough time for Method to rotate over, but it just depends on the luck of the draw here. Heavy aggression once again towards mid. They get the opening frag. Stanley falls, so they only have the duo of Nilzinho and Jenko now. But that second AWP in play, as long as Nilzinho does distract them, could be huge.
The smokes don't block off any support Nilzinho can get, and eventually will go down through the smoke. So it'll be a 5 versus 3 now. Ops is still in play though.
Jenko relies quite heavily on him at this point. They've lost 2 men already on the side of Method. Radix looking quite stable into the round. He has to start to pluck them down and put them into a bit of an awkward scenario. Yeah,
2-man advantage right now. Oh, spots the player's head, but doesn't quite land the shot. It's going to give up mid, potentially. Cyril now, the super sub for the line for Method. Can he hold the assault that's impending on him right now? It's going to be close towards A main. Jenko can maybe flash him as well in. Can they catch Radix off guard right now?
He's that frontline infantry. He has nice teamwork, but he peeks into the awaiting arms of Bodenmaster, and he will find that headshot. Quickly eliminates him. They get the smokes out as well, so they can go for the fast play, but Jenko teaming with confidence as he radiates it, pushes forward, finds one flick on towards Neff. The second frag comes out as well as he takes down Dream, nearly the third. He's flicking like a madman, but he can't quite find these frags. They still keep peeking towards him, though. But him and Pulse must realize they need to back off. Our retake with double AWP right now is going to be so hot, but they're actually still doing damage. They commit to this as well. Capers is in the rear, though, lurking behind. They have to try and readjust. He will take them down so easily. As soon as he gets into a good angle, Bodenmaster does damage. Capers finds that headshot. It looked like there was a chance, but Method let it slip at the end.
Nice shots there from Jenko, but obviously Capers from the rear was the insurance policy in that scenario. From behind, almost guaranteed both those kills. Could just line up one kill, tap the second. Regardless of whatever Bodenmeister was managed to pull off a shot there onto the first player that went down, the 2 versus 2. It was still likely going to be a 1-2-3 in terms of squad from Radix. So, it's going to be the buy once again for the T-Side. It's going to be the Tech 9 and full utility for Neff. 3 AKs in the AWP onto Dream that's been picked up off of the corpse from Jenko. It's going to be the Deagle onto Jenko. And 4 rifles for the CT side. So, money is low right now on the Method side. Obviously, investing double AWP setup into the first buy round does really dent the money you have in the bank. And with no interest, you're not getting anything back. It's going to be 1 minute 30 on the clock. Still 5 versus 5. Passive default coming up from both teams. Maybe Radix expect a weaker buy than what Method really do have.
Could be the possibility into this round, as they're definitely trying to play it a little bit slow. The first phase will come through. Seems like Dream going to lead the charge. They have flash utility as well if they want to try and allow him to peek out. Cyril goes for the information play, spots him out, and just backs off.
Yeah, obviously Stanley has the cover from Highway, so Cyril can be boosted and expose himself towards the whole of mid. But actually now, CTs have given up mid control. They're too wary now from a push towards connector. Stanley playing towards Forklift now, has given up Highway control. And eventually peek and check it. But players can go towards vent. This is going to make things very pressured right now for the CT side. Bomb entering T main, sorry, A main. And right now, Method, they have no control towards them. They have to take some portion of the map. And definitely that first frag will help.
Yeah, Dream falling only had 1 HP anyway, so it was quite squishy. It was a very easy frag for Stanley. The smokes do go through, and they realize with 30 seconds left, it has to be a straight commit towards this side take. They still don't clear out Stanley's location. The support Cyril comes in as well. They send them off to the burn towards Nod as they start to pick up all of these kills. 22 seconds left now. They are trying to go for this pincer play with the backup of Eccles, but as soon as he falls, this whole round collapses. The structure has gone. Cyril plays the close angle. It's an easy headshot for him, and he has the confidence to find the second as well.
So, Radix there. They're given mid for 3. They don't take advantage of course. Stanley giving up mid towards Highway. Rejoins the ranks towards A. Obviously, in that scenario, when you have no control towards mid, you have no information whether or not they've gone there. You have to really take some real estate back. You can see Stanley getting close towards A main. Mibba's going to wait for a pop flash from Cyril. Instead, they finds that first frag onto Dream. And that grants the reset now against Radix. Fudika coming up from them. It's going to be 5 blocks there. Actually, no, making 4. 1 Deagle onto Dream. But what can they really do?
Pushing their way straight into Nilzinho. He had the meat grinder set up. Unfortunately, it will malfunction. He doesn't get all of those frags for free at this point. Jenko comes over as well. Doesn't really want to overface with that AWP, because if he goes down, it's going to be a little bit of a sour round for them. Bodenmeister is finding headshots with this Deagle as he takes down Jenko. But the T's start to reshuffle their attack here.
Regardless of the 3 versus 3, still to be favouring Method right now in this scenario. They have the Kevlar utility and the firepower. Only real chance of Radix into this round is if Bodenmeister goes huge.
Bodenmeister, Deagle in hand. He can be quite dirty with the weapon, but Pulse is way too fast. He finds the headshot. And now they just have these 2 players left standing as well. Neff and Capers are so low, they can't really do too much. They can't even effectively trade in this situation. There's no real weapons to aid them. They do find that leftover pistol, but the flank from Pulse comes out as he will take them both down very, very quickly there. Got that eco round over and done with, then take a couple of casualties, so it's a pretty good round.
Yeah, obviously if you're Radix right there, and you are on the full eco, only player really upgrading anything is Dream there buying up the Deagle. In that scenario, you want to get minimum 2 kills, take out more than 7,000, surely. 8 to 9,000, even $10,000 worth of investment, and they did just that. Obviously, rounds are going to be what really does decide things later on, but doing a bit of the economic damage isn't really in the world for them. Echoes right now 0-0-6, so hopefully he steps up into the latter portions of this first half, but already only 20 seconds into the round, 2 players low on the CT side, Nilzinho and Pulse low, got spammed through the B main smoke. That will obviously impact the B side defense.
Yeah, that's not too great for him. I mean, sure, they've gone for that information play early, wanted to get themselves in a nice close range crossfire, but both of them just being on 26 HP right now. If the nades come in towards this B bomb site, it could be so easy for Radix to clean them out.
Miller's been given up from Method. This time, though, Radix will exploit it. They've taken the chance, they've seen it. They grabbed it by the balls, Jack. Let's see what they can do now. Jenko towards it, he should be smoked off soon, but if he doesn't, could have an impact.
That much utility, and he actually finds the first kill as well. Bodemeister wanted to try and take him down as he does unleash with the AK-47, but it's a quick flick. That's all Jenko required. Eccles finds the frag back on towards Nio. Now they have to be curious. They need to be aware that this backstab is coming through. And they know the push is waiting. The peek comes through as well. It's a nice angle for Eccles, so he can eliminate Jenko. But they're starting to back off. It seems like the true play will be towards the A bomb site. This could really confuse them. I actually found that opening kill, though. They know they need to commit. They knew how many players were on the site, so they might as well just run the risk. Nilzinho finds one frag, 2 as well. They're not facing towards him. They should have known he was still on the bomb site. This retake could be so easy for Surreal at this point.
Finds the kill, though. Neff takes the Nilzinho. It's going to be 1 versus 1. Neff has no utility, trying to get away from the site. Surreal maybe hearing this, actually. Molotov comes through. Flash comes out as well. The peek's going to happen.
Flashbang goes in. Surreal pre-fires. Try clear. Spots out Neff. Through the wall. Better angle.
So, 2 rounds on the board right now from Radix. There could be a reset potentially, and it is indeed, Jack. It's going to be 2,000 or 3,000 across the board right now from Method on the CT side. They're going to be buying up and forcing up into this one. Surreal can buy them 4. For Radix, though, obviously, Bodemeister staying alive, picks up the ult from Pulse, I believe. And it's going to be 2-5. 3 rounds separates these 2 teams. We're going to round number 8. It's going to be the Glion to Capers. 3 AKs, opt for Bodemeister. And Neff and Bodemeister, only the real ones, wielding the utility into this round. The CT side is going to be 2 CZs, M4 onto Surreal, and then 2 UMP. So an extremely weak buy coming from Method. Radix, if they win this one, make it 5-3. Win versus the Eco. They could really be bringing this one back after, of course, losing that pistol.
Yep. Power play is being utilised here, though, by Method. Obviously gets Surreal up into that elevated angle by Shroud Spot. Allow him to just hammer down with that M4 as they push towards the bomb site, connects those easy headshots, and take them out if they do go for that A push. But it seems like the only player actually situated towards there is going to be Neff, go for the late round door burst as they try and go for this split push. They are setting up to take that mid control early. Right
now, Method have given up control of middle. They really have to take control of something from this, though. You give this up, you have to take something back on your CT side. Flash into a main, you have the pistols, the UMPs there. Make use of those close quarters weaponry before it's too late.
Stanley's been spotted by Dream as well. He is overstepping the mark a little bit here as he pushes up. Gets spotted out by Jenko. He doesn't have the best firearm, but he can still find that kill. Surreal comes into effect as well as he hammers down towards Capers, removing him, leaving them with 3 men standing on the side of Radix. They're not in a great position. They're spread so thin here. They have to try and work together and coordinate some kind of assault.
5 versus 3. 40 seconds left on the clock. The bomb. Outside Squeaky. Stanley spots out Neff as well towards door. It's going to be Echoes coming off the flank towards Highway. Can he find the frag towards Forklift? Allow an entry towards the A side. Right now, the 2-man disadvantage makes it so hard for them to probe and push anywhere towards the map.
Master. He was waiting curious. You could see he didn't know if Surreal was still in that elevated angle, but Stanley just peeks into him, gives him that opening frag, and they are going to go for the split push towards the B-bomb site now. 2 players on the site. It's that dynamic duo, Nilzinho and Pulse. They have CZs, but in close range, they can still be such annoying weapons. Neff tries to find the opener, but time's ticking away. They have to get that bomb planted right now, or the round is over. They've lost the round at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be the 1 versus 3 now. Bodemeister going to throw in the towel. Obviously, no time for him to plant. Wow, I mean, obviously, hindsight is 20/20, Jack, but you could have potentially planted in the smoke that Nilzinho just propped down straight for you. Instead, he went for the kill, didn't quite land the spray. And it's going to be round number 6 for Method there as they eventually claw that one back. They did the 2-man advantage, they spread the Radix attack thin. Slowly but surely they do close that one out. Jenko ran out 13-5, so more than 1 kill per round. Really stepping up into this game tonight, first game of the night, of course. But Bodemeister gets a nice bit, nice spawn towards the middle, sorry. Doesn't quite get the angle there before the smoke does bloom. It's going to be the force spike coming from Radix, of course. They've been reset once again. Only 1 player staying alive into the previous round, I believe it was Bodemeister. So,
could be really good from Stanley, actually. Finds that opening kill, playing the close angle by the smoke, they just push in. He finds the first, but Dream was able to push too far down, spots him out. Didn't really have the blind spot that the smoke provided beforehand. Jenko peeks through as well. Finds out the position of Dream, but it doesn't really matter. He's too busy focusing on what was going on around him. Tunnel visioned in, didn't go for that frag. Nilzinho, the counter boost play, finds one frag, spots out the bomb, and has to back off. Surreal comes into effect as well, though. Very aggressive peek here. Had no support, but ran the risk and did take down Bodemaster.
Did get the kill. Capers is low HP as well. Flash comes in, Pulse and Surreal peek in unison. Don't spot anyone just yet, but Nilzinho should be here, holding towards the connector to seal the deal.
Doesn't even need to peek right now. It's all on Surreal. He finds the first, spams in towards connector, and then takes down KPS as well on that boost angle. Quick round. They didn't do as good as they could have done. Obviously, you lose a little bit of cash on forcing out these rebuys.
Yeah.
But you look at the scoreline right now. 7 rounds Method CT half. They're a team that you can't really underestimate because normally, even if you really stomp them one half, they step it up on that T half. They'll be able to revitalize themselves. T half as well, very explosive team. So right now, definitely setting themselves up to try and win out this half, as this should be the 8th round for free.
Pulse lobbing out the HE. Going to be spraying down versus the unarmored players from the Radix side. And it gets 2 frags though. As Nilzinho does join him, standing now from behind, does find 1 kill. So with the 2 versus 4. Obviously, this is the eco coming up from Radix. You are expecting a very one-sided affair in terms of the duels and the kills. And exactly that does happen. Jack is going to be 4. Staying alive for the CT side, and there's going to be money back in the bank. 4,000 across the board for Team Method into round number 11, so they can buy up into the next one in case Radix do win this one. It's going to be the 5 AK buy coming up from the T side as we go into the next round. So, obviously, you mentioned the rounds, yeah. 6 rounds, separated these 2 teams now. Method winning the pistol. They've broken the money twice of Radix, so that is something definitely to note. The rounds have been very close. Surreal on the 1 versus 1, the 2 versus 2 for them with Jenko. So, definitely a closer game than the scoreline does show currently, but once again, we're seeing players towards boost. That's probably going to be a common theme as well throughout the night once we see Method on the T side.
Bodemaster though with the aggression towards mid, finds the opening kill back towards Jenko. Stanley's in such a good angle though, he finds the first kill, but he really throws his chance away. Radix trading effectively now as they just storm in. They are not messing about. They've got all the map control in the world. Pulse is the only member left standing on the side of Method. Can't effectively go for this. Just needs to hunker down, Snods, stay alive, try and just bury himself under the sand here and wait. And if they do push towards him, at least just try and keep that M4 into the next round. Yeah,
I don't think there's actually an AWP he can retrieve right now and try to save that into the next round. Money is lower than I thought, actually. Obviously, I'm to rebuy Kevlar, rebuy utility as well. They will get 1.4k into the next round. So Pulse saves this one. He will have 2.8k. Can't drop over an M4, but he could actually... I mean, Surreal and Nilzinho, they can buy if they don't buy utility. They can afford an M4 and Kevlar, but no nades, of course. But obviously, Nilzinho is the one to really take the hit on the Method side. He's always the one to buy the Tech 9 full grenades, the Galil extra grenades versus the ecos and force buys. So it's probably going to be Nilzinho that'll be the one to take the hit.
If you look at that cash, it is so dire at this point. So that buyer's going to come through. They've actually got a nice bit of utility at the very least, though.
Yeah, and it is actually Surreal and Nilzinho to say goodbye to the M4 and the firepower that comes with it, and to welcome in the utility to their inventory. So, round number 12 now. Radix pick up 1, but will they be reset for a 3rd time in this first half here? If they do, this could spell the end to it. This could easily go to a 10-3, 11-3 scoreline. 3 players from Radix already towards team main. Smoke's coming towards mid, that's to keep the players towards highway and mid and distract anyone towards A.
Look at that though from Surreal. He just charges on his own, absolutely bounds in towards them, gets spotted out. He does a little bit of damage. I mean, Bodemaster's on 10 HP, but they can still thunderfoot their way in towards this bomb site now. Jenko peeks out. Should have found the frag there with a no-scope, but he lets it slip. All of them are falling. It's just Nilzinho and Pulse left, and they're in awkward locations, Snods. They cannot go for this.
5 versus 2. HC's raining. Don't find the frags onto low HP players. Fortunate scenario here, so eventually he may be forced to save. KPS through the wall will eventually find Pulse. It's going to be Nilzinho last alive now. Low HP players towards mid, but eventually will be caught off guard. With his trousers around his ankles, it's going to be 8-4 now. Radix pick up 2 in the Tron. That should be the eco hit from Method into round number 13. This could be, what, 8-5. Method eco, they bump into round 14, but obviously the best half that Radix can anticipate is a 8-7.
I'm not too sure what the play was there from Surreal. I didn't see if he had a flash of his own. Didn't really see him get flashed in.
It looked like he was turning or something. Yeah, like he turned for a flash, yeah.
He turned for a flash, but I don't know if Jenko made the call. So if he assumed he was going to have a flash play there, just leaps in on his own, obviously unflashed, they're completely clear. He tried to panic, run away, just got shot in the head.
Yeah, well, I think another reason as well he went for that play is because the crisscross smokes that come out.
Yeah.
are usually for players to go towards vent and then eventually split towards B. So I think Surreal's going for a bit of an information play.
Okay.
And obviously, you got all the information you could really get.
Yeah.
Finds 3, goes down, but it was a quite common trend we see. The first time I saw it was from Imi on Endpoint, where you smoke, the crisscross smokes out mid, and then you have 3 players in door or A main, and you flood out A main or door once those smokes land. And the reason being is usually, right, if you're expecting a 1-3-1 setup or a 1-3-1 setup or a 2-1-2 setup, okay? Usually you have a player towards highway that watches door, and then he also helps mid in case they need attention. So what the idea is behind that strategy, Jack, is to crisscross smokes come out, you keep that player highway, so he's no longer scoped at door.
Yeah.
You have a player in A main flash out door, squeaky, or forward squeaky, and they burst out door. And obviously there's no one highway to mow you down or shoot you down, so you basically run over players on the A side.
This time around, though, they're just kind of go for that flash play straight in. Obviously, the flash does go over. They try and peek in, but it's just not working out. Dream is able to find all of these frags so easily at this point. Just picking off everyone that comes towards them. If the teams get through this no casualties, as they do, it's a perfect setup for them. Just what they wanted. Get the eco over and done with. Don't lose anything. They don't have to rebuy out. It gives their economy a chance to build.
So, it's going to be round number 14 here, as the buy is going to be fairly weak in terms of utility onto that CT side, or into the hands of Pulse, Famas for Stanley. And it's going to be 3 M4s as well to finish off the rest of the method buy. For Radix though, it's going to be the AWP again onto Burdermeister. Strange not see on Dream, but of course they both can wield that weapon. And then obviously fast play towards B here, bomb as well. But eventually Dream wins that duel as Pulse gets his head torn off.
He dropped down, landed the tag, but immediately gets eliminated. Nilzinho as well, he had the spray down potential, it was all in his hands, and he just drops it all over the floor. Jenko, though, roaming around like a madman. He is tagging everyone down. It's left on Surreal and Stanley. They're a dynamic duo that packs so much of a punch. Eccles trapped towards that site, trying to tiptoe through, pushes through the CT smoke, could play with them here. He's trying to brain them, Snods, they don't know his location, go all the way through, take control of A bomb site.
Eccles dinked up by an incredible round there from Jenko, does 2 kills, and the dink as well onto Eccles, so massive round from him. But let's see what Eccles can do if he can step up into this one. Does further plant a little bit, but still. Bomb will go down. Interested to see if actually Meta think it's B. Do they drop? One player's dropped, but I don't think Stanley has. No, he's going to be going back towards the A sub because they realise what's happened now. Now Eccles can try to turn this into 2 versus 1s.
It's true. In terms of utility, they have a little bit to play with. Eccles, though, 2 flashes and 1 molly. He's in a nice little off angle as well here, Snods. It's kind of blind spot, so he's allowed to peek out, takes the headshot, but Stanley arrived just in the nick of time. The defuse will come through, but very, very close round there. Yeah,
I mean, imagine if he got behind car, they played the headshot angle. Yes, it was low HP, but still it had to be a headshot there from Stanley if he wanted to close that one out. Would have been almost the advantage there for Eccles. Look at the lineup there.
So much potential on Nilzinho there. It's not his fault he got taken down.
Yeah, it's a nice shot from Eccles.
Yeah, you do get absolutely
as well,
but could have been huge.
So, 9-5 with the scoreline. Radix, the best they can ask for here after losing the pistol will be a 9-6 scoreline. Method, of course, they do want the double-digit CT silence. Of course, once you flop over? It's not fish 1, 2, 3.
Always flopping over to the CT half.
The T half, actually. Once you flip over to the T side, you do want as many rounds to buff up on your terrorist side. So it's going to be the AWP again onto Burdermeister, 4 AKs for the terrorist side. For Method, though, it's going to be the UMP onto Nilzinho and then 4 rifles to finish off the rest of the buy. Dream right now probing out some information, trying to take the 1 versus 1 versus Surreal.
Nilzinho, they're taking these constant peeks towards that B bomb site, just getting railed because of it. Luckily enough, he charges on his own, so I'm just going to fund a foot in there. Had no support, and Pulse will very easily get that kill. But the trades are coming back thick and fast for Radix. They still outnumber the CTs. If Bodemaster would have got that second kill, that's when it would have looked dire. But luckily enough, Jenko does punish him with the M4. Spots out Capers on the cross as well, and at least tags him a little bit. 3 versus 3. Make a 3 versus 2. Jenko lands a nice headshot there to Neff. It's going to be the play towards A bomb. Eventually coming towards A main. Pulse is behind all of them as well. Even if they have the sight and the bomb goes down, they still have the insurance policy coming from behind, or do they? Pulse has actually started to stagnate a little bit here. He isn't pushing as quickly as he was before. Now they get the information that it is going to be the straight commit towards the A-bomb site, he can get a little bit more aggressive once again. They push out as well, and it was set up perfectly for him. It's going to be so hard. He is in the rear. He has the drop on them, at the very least. But Dream peeks back through. Luckily enough, he's low on HP, and he finds a headshot.
Capers does the sight, the bomb plant, the flashbang. He knows exactly where Pulse has to come from. Could even hold the angle towards their main. Flashes out, but eventually will peek through the smoke.
Capers, AWP in hand, just takes that one shot as long as he can land it towards Pulse, but he doesn't want to overextend. He just falls back and plays a nice supportive angle. Pulse has to smoke over. Molotov goes in first to try to force him out of the site, but he's already way too far back. Pulse runs through as well, just plays it close. He goes round towards the bomb and then try and tap it and force the face. If Capers is smart here, doesn't go for the straight commit, and Pulse just fakes it, he could pick this round up, but he charges straight in. Somehow Pulse finds the kill. He jumps in the air. He could have just shot him, and Pulse gets the defuse.
He jumps up. The thing is, it's crazy, right? Fair enough if you jump through the smoke, but he goes through the smoke, then jumps. When he saw him on the defusing it, sticking it.
Yeah, he was still sticking the bomb at that point.
Yeah, obviously a bit of a panic play there coming out from Capers.
Yeah.
Should have won that one, but it will be a 10-5 scoreline after Method do pick up the pistol, break the money twice versus Radix, and you know, in terms of the gun rounds, they're very close, but unfortunately, the money wasn't.
Yeah, it's true. It could have been an entirely different game as well. If they
it could have been an 8-7 easily.
That's the thing. If they would have had a slight few changes here and there, it could have been incredibly different. But obviously, coming down to that now, normally T-side Method, that's where they try and lead the flow of the game. Obviously, the default we see them go for more commonly.
It's literally just Nilzino towards B.
Yeah.
Pulse sometimes joins as well if he has to do op. So, or Pulse is the one to boost up the Stanley and Jenko. But anyway, it's usually one player, well, actually usually Weber, towards A main. Someone, Pulse door, Weber A main, Nilzino towards B, and then before Pulse goes towards door, Weber goes towards A main, he'll boost up Stanley and Jenko every single round. And their goal is to take control of mid, peek mid, find entries towards the middle portion of the map, and from there, split the sites.
Yeah, it's true. It's going to be interesting to see, obviously, if they switch anything up because of that lack of Weber now with Surreal coming into fold. If he's just going to step into his shoes for the default, or if they'll possibly rotate a player over. Obviously, when we saw Fry get replaced by Jenko, it was quite a harsh shift in how they restructured a lot of the setups they go for, rather than just Jenko filling in for that role.
And their T-sides as well. Obviously, it used to be Method towards mid or Mirage, for example, and their T-sides used to be so good. And now Weber's towards the B side. And then it seems like they stagnate a lot more towards middle. You know, Stanley will go towards connector, but nothing really happens. There isn't really that player that says, okay, you have your pack leader. Usually in a team, you have your wolf pack. You have your first primary lurker, your second lurker, and then your wolf pack, right?
Yeah.
So usually it's the AWPer, the IGL, and the entry fragger. And then you'd have your two lurkers, Pulse and Weber for Method. And obviously Stanley would be your entry fragger, your Xenia would be your caller, and then Jenko would be your AWPer. Well, he likes to be called the Premier AWPer, obviously the jogger that went around all the time. But the idea is you have one towards each portion of the map, and then you have your middle portion, the wolf pack, that makes the calls and deciphers what goes on. So it made sense for them to move Weber as the lurk, as he is a lurk player for the team, towards B. But anyway, it's going to be the pistol round coming out right now. It's going to be Jenko wielding the Deagle. Can you find the first frag and make it, well, potentially 30-5 if they win versus the Force Buy and the Eco if they do take this pistol?
Going to go for the aggressive short hit, though, as they do push their way through. Obviously, one smoke, one Molotov there on Nilzino. As we were talking about, the Molotov will go in, forces Dream out of position. He lands a tag, though. Isn't actually punished yet as well. He could take down Nilzino here as he gets him so low. Cape is trying to dissolve another frag. This is not the way Method wanted it to go. They are getting absolutely eradicated right now as they're pushing their way into the bomb site, getting sniped down by these pistols. Radix only just lose their first player now. Eccles will fall, but Stanley gets traded back. Jenko with Eagle in his hands can't quite muster the courage to try and go for the aggressive play, but he will wait until Bodemaster pushes towards him, finds the first kill. It's just a matter of time until he falls at this point.
Neff, no Kevlar, is one bullet away from being taken down. Jenko now towards CT. Finds the headshot to Capers. Both of these players are low. He can do this now.
Maybe this is actually potential. Yeah, he gets them into a good situation. He has the Deagle still in his hands. His timing would have been ever so slightly better. Neff would have been brutally taken down there. Would have been so confused about that play. Jenko, 40 seconds left on the clock. No utility support. All relies on his natural skill with the Deagle. Jumps himself up to the elevated angle. Can't quite connect the shot just yet, but he now knows where they're both being played from. But Dream somehow doesn't get spotted out. He's just going for these wild peaks, trying to play around it. Jenko realizes he needs to do something soon as he jumps up towards the E-box. Dream peeks out. We'll get that kill.
Well played, 2 versus 1 there versus Radix. So don't give away the first kill. It's very easy there if you're Neff or Dream to overface and give away that 1 versus 1. It's going to be pistols to go in the favor of 1-2-1. Both teams winning their respective CT side pistols. It's going to be 6-10 now. 4 rounds separating these two teams. Jenko in the 1 versus 4 did find 2 nice kills, but didn't quite get the bomb down, which means it's going to be the 4 spy coming out from Method on their T side. Full force as well. 5-9, smoke grenade on Stanley, and then 5 sets of Kevlar helmet, which means we're going to be seeing no AWP and no AWP into that first buy round.
Maybe the old door burst play here with support from main. Obviously, Stanley does have that smoke though. You can get the smoke out, try and block off a little bit of line of sight, provide yourself with some support. But Eccles in the elevated angle, he's going to hit the door open, peek out, and they start to flood their way through. Finds a nice headshot as well. Nilzinho does fire back. Surreal actually chimes in as well. The T's have managed to arrange some form of uprising at this point. They scavenged those Faller's weapons, but they only could get the one, as that Famous was so far away towards short. Stanley didn't even know how he's managed to get away with his life there.
4 versus 3 now. CT have kits though, but no smokes and molotovs, so they have to brute force their way through this one.
Yep, trying to ram their way straight in towards the bomb site. Bodum still will find the headshot towards Nilzinho. They do flood through as well. Need to go for the confidence play now at this point. They have a lot of flashbangs, but they're just going in dry. They run the risk, and Jenko steps up absolutely massively. That's 2 huge impact frags. Dream finds 1 kill, but it's a little bit too late at this point.
It's going to be the force by 1 from Method. 11-6 with the scoreline now for Radix. For Radix, they wish. For Method, as we go into round number 18. Bison picked up by Cyril. He's going to anticipate the Eco coming up from Radix, but I actually think they're going to be forcing up into this one. Obviously, multiple players on their CT side having $1,400, so they can't buy up even if they save this one.
That could be horrible as well. That thing does so little damage against armored opponents.
Yeah, it does indeed. I think it's like 8 bullets or something, even at close range, so obviously very effective versus non-armored opponents, but actually 4 players on the CT side have Kevlar, so this could be a sticky situation for Surreal. It's nice to see him back. Was away on complexity for over a year, wasn't he? So
he's dropped the Bizon. He's gone for the Famous. It seems like they've actually been able to read the situation. He switched out.
Yeah. Neff now finds the first. Could be 5 versus 4.
Yep. Takes down Pulse. Surreal wielding the Famous rather than the Bizon will tear down Eccles. As they do fall back to 4 versus 4. Their health is already incredibly dented. They're not looking that healthy on the side of Team Method already a few seconds into the round.
Surreal, low HP. 1 shot from Capers as Deagle would be able to take him down. Tech 9 onto Nilzinho as well. Probably should swap that out with Surreal. Put the Tech 9 onto Surreal, let him go first and be the information player. Give away the locations of these pistoled CT players.
Making a lot of noise though from Method. I don't know if he actually dropped the bomb there.
No, he didn't. He picked up himself. It's all good.
Molotov is going to go through to try and force the players out the site. They can't quite enter just yet. Molotov is keeping Stanley at bay. They do have that utility to play with, but they need to go for this bird together, be coordinated now as they flood their way through. Bodemaster is coming in behind as well. Neff close range, can do a lot of damage with that pistol, but he just got tags off, didn't find the actual kills at this point. They fall back into a 2 versus 2. And with this round, you expect Radix actually had a fully fledged buy at this point, but they are getting them into such a close situation with just measly pistols. The flank does come out for Stanley as well as he tries to get into a better angle. Jenko will take down Bodemaster. It's all on Capers. Deagle in hand, but the crossfire is being held, and they can take him down.
Close. But no cigar there from Radix. It's going to be 2 players surviving for the Method side. The force bar doesn't go in Radix's favour, which means the money is going to be in tatters now as they go into round number 19. It's going to be the full eco coming out from them. 4,000 to Bodemaster. Of course, he did save, which means he will be able to bring out the AWP into the next round. Nevertheless, though, it's going to be the 2 Mag-10 buy, 2 AK buy, and the FAMAS onto Stanley. So this should be around now for Method to put up even more cash than they already do have as they go for the fast play towards B. And actually, the stack's going to come out from the CT side towards the A side, so good read here. Yeah,
they've got the welcome out. They've read it correctly. Obviously, they can just rub their absolutely filthy Wellington boots all over the site. It's nods as they take control and set up shop. Pulse will get that bomb planted. They're in good positions. They also push up close to personal as well. Nilzinho, if he hears this out, could run rampant with that Mag-10 if he even gets a chance, as Jenko and Co are just tearing down that CT side setup.
Nilzinho and Jenko finding kills. It's going to be kills, unfortunately. Only 2 onto the Mag-10 and then 3 onto the AKs, so money not quite as efficient as it could possibly be, but nevertheless, kills are kills and money is money. Rounds are rounds, Jack. As it is going to be that 7-round advantage right now for Method, and it's going to be the buy coming from Radix. So, round number 20 now. Let's see what Radix have to bring into this one. It's going to be the 5 AK buy coming from Method. This is usually where they either go for the contact play, the executes, or they just simply boost up Jenko and Stanley, leaving Surreal as well. Just get those aimers over boost, take the 1 versus 1 duels with the players towards middle, and then find the entries that way.
Jenko backing off here with the support of his team.
Yeah, obviously, if that smoke didn't come out that fast, it probably would have played a lot faster. Eccles does spot out Pulse, but Pulse does also spot out Eccles. 1 minute 30 on the clock, bomb towards mid-main still. Players going out through mid. It's looking like an A split about to happen here. The AWP from Bodemeister pushing towards B, so they have the information about what's going on.
Push up close personally, do spot out the first players, but they can't actually find the frags. Eccles gets a double kill as he starts to do quite a lot of damage. Upgrades the AK as well, and Bodemeister will find that frag battle towards Nilzinho. The T's are just getting dispatched at this point. Pulse needed to be the prolific fragger, the one to start to crack open that A bomb site, but it's all left on Surreal. He's been quite sneaky as he plays a stealthy angle, trapped behind Forklift here. He has to get these frags. They don't actually know he's out on the site. He could be foiled by Dream. Ekes out towards him, struggled, and Dream will not give him the chance to get into this round.
Doesn't quite connect the spray there. It's going to be round number 7 now for Radix. Still, they are 6 behind. The terrorist side of a method. Once again, the AWP onto Bodemeister to go for a good push there towards B. Eccles getting rather lucky there. Obviously, he jumps off the ladder. 2 players peek from Highway. But he had his teammate there to take all of the attention. So, double hit 9 by, double AK by, and the AWP for Stanley this time. Not Surreal. Oh, timing that, nearly going in favour of Stanley as he almost found the frag there. The elbow onto Bodemeister. Still stands still though, as it is 1:30 left on the clock. 5 versus 5, no players from the T side towards A main. It's going to be heavy stack there towards B, and Eccles finds the first once again towards middle.
Losing players on the side of Method is going to come back to bite them. They don't have anything to really play with at this point. Pulse, you can see, limited to that Tech 9, so it's reliant quite heavily on these rifles to really rip them open and give them the beginnings they need to this round. Aggressive position utilized here by Dream as well. Look how deep he's pushed up as he finds that headshot back on towards Pulse.
2-man disadvantage right now for Method on the T side. We'll see if Radix can string these rounds together. Forced ecos and the force buys coming out from Method. There's a real chance for them to bring this one back if they can break that terrorist economy. We'll find one. Actually finds a second as well. I don't know where the hell they're looking. It's going to be a 3 versus 3 now. 50 seconds left on the clock on the A side stairs.
You can see the confusion as well. Capers seemed like he called so late because he didn't expect it to go down like that. Surreal able to find a massive double kill. It's actually given them the lifeline they need to get back into the round. Stanley as well furthers that as takes down Bodemeister, but it's all left in his hands. Can he live up to the hype? Unfortunately not. This time Eccles will rip for him. That's a 4K for Eccles. Really consistent into the round there. Huge impact frags for him.
Yep, big round there from Adam. Eccles. Got to be thinking as well, how on earth is Surreal able to creep up towards Highway?
Yeah.
And just spot 2 players not looking anywhere near his direction there. I believe Neff was running away from mid. Maybe Surreal's close towards white box. Neff runs around, peeks at Surreal and runs. Surreal hears him run away. Maybe that's how he got the drop on him, but anyway, it's going to be 8-2-13 round. Only 5 rounds separating these 2 teams down. The Corsi buy is going to be coming out from Method. They can still buy up into the next round, but obviously it is going to be the Tech 9 buy, and last time it worked towards the A site. This time, no longer a burst towards A main. It's going to be the burst through door. Is it going to work 2 times on the drop?
They have that utility to give them the fighting chance into the round here. They just have to hope the timing and everything works in their favour, but Eccles, he is so hungry and he's waiting for Method to serve themselves up on a platter as he will just unleash hell from above. Finds so many easy frags already. Neff will get the bystander in Nilzinho. Jenko goes down finally to Eccles. They don't mess about on this eco. Didn't want to give them the chance to find anything that might aid them further into the rounds, but the buy has come back through now for Method. They're so close still. Radix, they don't have that many rounds to let slip. They have to try and win all these on the trot, essentially, as Method. Only 3 more rounds to close this map out.
You're right. The thing is, though, Radix money has built off that previous round, so they can still buy if they lose this one. If Method get to 14, they will still have a buy. So, once again, 4AK buy, AWP to Jenko, not Surreal, or Nilzinho or Pulse. Still down towards Boost, it's going to be spotted out this soon.
Oh! That's a filthy shot from Jenko there. Quite nice. The snapshot takes down Dream. Dream's been quite a nuisance as well. He's been roaming around finding those opening kills, yeah.
So, it's going to be a 5 versus 4 now in favour of the T side. Bodemeister to spot out Surreal there, but I believe... Oh, he's going to be playing aggressive this one as well. Doesn't anticipate support, but here it comes, Nilzinho from behind. Surreal, though, still wins the duel. Even if he didn't, Nilzinho was there for the trade kill. It's going to be a 5 versus 3 now. 2-man advantage for the T side.
That's such a deep overextend as well. Considering they only had 4 players left at that point, really heavy commits to try and find that opening frag. Had no support really either. The only player that was close by was Capers playing from vent, so he couldn't have stopped to push if it did come through. Does find the headshot back on towards Surreal though, so they are into a 3 versus 4 at this point. But the real attack will be going down towards the A bomb site. They burst their way out. You could see Stanley actually caught off guard at that point. He wasn't ready for that player in Neff, but he does actually find the frag with the support of his teammate. Eccles as well denies the bomb plant, gets 1 kill, but Pulse will be able to power it back into the hands of Method. and it's all left on Capers here.
1 versus 3. Low HP, no utility, just the key in hand. So it's 5 extra seconds to defuse. My goodness. So, might actually be just conceding this one. Going to be cutting his losses and save into the next round. I don't think... Oh, it could get the ult from B main. Save that one for the next round. Yeah, we'll be able to retrieve the AWP, so we'll have that for when Method reach round 14. So for Method right now, obviously Radix can still buy up, especially now that they have saved the AWP. It's going to be 14-9. 5 rounds separates these two teams, and once the buy comes in, yeah, look at that. 6,000 to Eccles, so they can definitely buy up into this one. They're going to really use everything they have, okay? It's going to be 14-9. Radix, though, if they lose that one, they're broke. Or they win that round, make it 10-14, they get reset. It still should be a nice and easy close here for Method. In the preface before this one, Jack, I said that I was expecting a 16-9, or 16-9, 16-7. And, yeah, Radix, they put up a good fight. They won. They went 1 for 1 in terms of pistols, but T side from Method has been too good. So it's going to be the 4 AK and the AWP buy from Method once again. And this time for Radix is going to be the single up setup. Bodemeister winning the AWP again. Heavy presence towards A main from both teams. Eccles now going for the Shroud boost as well. Obviously we saw a lot of success from Cyril towards that position. Can Eccles replicate that?
Bodemeister fires down on towards Cyril here, but the trade will come back through off the back of Stanley's. They're left in the 4 versus 4. Seems like they are just trying to take these 1v1 fights towards the A-bomb set, and they're not being able to get the advantage they need on the side of Method. Till Pulse is able to do some damage as well. They can go for the split push now, but they need to clear that angle. Playing from Shroud for Eccles could be so damaging. He's already shown out effective. Stanley only just spots out his head. I thought that was really going to go downhill for them, but he finds the first, gets pushed, but Stanley's able to flick shoot and takes him down. To hat-trick from Stanley that he somehow pulls out of the bag.
Match point now for Method. The money's going to be low for the right side on the CT side. Obviously, the CT economy is nowhere near as favorable and forgiving as the T side. Look at that. Spots are Eccles there. None the wiser to the fact that they can be towards Highway. Catch up the stick towards Connector. Swings it around. Bodemeister whiffs the shot onto Stan. He does get the final kill to grant Method match point. So, round number 25 now. This could be the final one here, Jack, as the buy is going to be weak from the CT side. Already aggression towards middle.
See a team with confidence as they don't want to let this game go on for any longer than it needs to right now. They're trying to close it down almost immediately. Dream playing up against the smoke with the CZ. It's very, very risky. He does start to back off. Sure, if he does actually find the frags with the weapon, it's going to be crucial to them being able to close out this round. But Eccles is actually the catalyst that could really swing this into Radix's favor as he pushes too deep, though. Nilzinho holds the angle. If he would have killed him there, could have had complete bomb control. It would have been massive.
Eccles there. Good push. Doesn't quite execute it in the style he needs to. Gives away the advantage, and now it's going to be the play towards A from the T side. Nilzinho going to be boosting up. Cyril with the AW. Oh no. This is the AK for Cyril. But Pulse finds the frag towards A, and it's going to open up the things. But I might step towards Falkland. What can he really do?
This is going to be hard for him. He has the M4, so at least he has the best equipped weapon for a play like this as he finds the first one towards Pulse. Drops down as well and starts to back off. He's going to try and play a more effective angle. Doesn't want to try and play these one-and-done angles over and over again. But once again, Jenko hungry to try and make a difference into the round, but it isn't going to happen. The CZ reigns supreme. He takes him down. It's all left on Nilzinho in a 1 versus 2. So much utility into the round, but only 32 seconds, and he makes a snap decision to back off.
But I'm just going to hear all of this footing as well. Close A main. They know it's going to be Capers as well. Should go towards B, but it's actually going to be going towards mid. That's a poor call, maybe. Or maybe Capers and Bodemeister want to play this one together, but they are going to be considered the B bomb site. Nilzinho's full utility. Can get the bomb down. He's going to plant for a B main. Can smoke towards CT. Molly heaven and cross back or molly the bomb. Once things to eventually get underway here in the 1 versus 2.
Smoke goes down. He is just holding from sight right now. Another Molotov goes out as well. A lot of nades already used. You can see him focusing so heavily towards upper, expecting that to be where the play comes from. But right now they're just pushing in. They haven't made too much noise either as well. And they haven't given their positions away, but now they start to fire off rounds. He knows they're pushing in, but he has the confidence to just hold towards headshot angle. Finds Capers first. The push comes over, but Bodemeister in the elevated angle was able to pick it up. And he is going to be able to get that defuse just in the nick of time as well. It had to be now or never.
Eventually, bomb will be defused there. No defuse kit for him, which meant if Nilzinho just prolonged that one for a few seconds more, even if he modded the bomb, that could have been match point and the game over for Radix. Nilzinho in the 1 versus 2 obviously played that one rather scared. He expected the push to be coming in quicker than actually it was, so definitely gave maybe more respect than he needed to in that scenario.
Yeah.
Obviously, in the 1 vs 2 in that situation, you want to have control of checkers or control of B main and have it where you can play the 1 vs 1s in terms of the 1 vs 2. Nevertheless, they've still got 5 more chances for Method to close this one out in regulation if they don't want to force OT. Bodomaster going to go towards B once again as well.
Smoke's going to go in deep, but Bodomaster still trying to play on these very aggressive info plays here with the AWP. He's not messing about, and this time it will actually go in his favor. He takes down Surreal. That's quite a juicy impact frag.
4 vs 4 now. Capis towards Highway. He needs a flashbang potentially. We'll spot out one plug. It's the first frag. Jenko is down. Actually tries to duel out. Stanley, but Dream comes in, supports him. It's going to be the 5 vs 2 now. Remaining 2 players towards B. They have to get the entries here towards this side. So we're on to Bodomaster towards B. Has the AWP to anchor the side.
Smoke goes in. He's going to block off that angle so he can push his way through. Bodomaster, you can see the panic comes out as he just double-faced towards those players. It's all left on the IGL once again for the side of Method. Can he lead by example into this round as he pops the head of Dream, sprints straight towards the site, but didn't know Eccles was there, waiting to strike. 4 rounds now. Is all Radix needs. It's going to be the eco potentially coming out from Method as well. 2,000, 2,000 across the board in terms of economy for themselves. Obviously, the eco this one, they will be able to buy up into the next one. Once things potentially go to 15 to 12. It's going to be the force buy for Stanley. He was on lower money than the rest of his comrades, so we'll be forcing into this one and the next round as well. It's going to be the triple Tech 9 buy, double PT50 buy, and the flashbangs as well coming in for the T side. Going to be going for the fast B burst. Absolutely thundering their way through. Everyone should be aware of what is occurring right now as they sprint their way in towards that B-bomb. So struggling a little bit. Neff will eventually only just find the frag. It's actually Surreal that took down Nilzinho. They do clear it out. It's only 1 casualty to the side of Radix. So they're looking good. They have the buffer to play with, but they still can't make any mistakes. Method, they've secured match point. Even though there's economy on the side of Radix, it's all about rounds at this point. Method have another buy to boot. Round number 28 now. Only a few more chances for Radix to come back into this one. They cannot concede 1 more round. Method currently sitting on match point. 16 to tip themselves over for the win. First win of the night. It's going to be the 4 AK by UMP to Stanley. It's going to be the burst towards a bomb going towards door. Flashback comes in for Eccles, and this could be the throw. Let's get the first frag. It's quite the second. It's going to be 4 vs 4. Sprints in, takes down Surreal, but Stanley trades back, and Neff does damage as well. Rips the head clean off of Pulse. They're in a 3 vs 3, so it's equal stance, but it just depends on how these next few frags start to go. Bodomaster gets the elevated angle. He's already had 1 kill, but he whiffs the second. Jenko is able to claw them back into more of a manageable position, but he eventually finds that shot, and it's all on Stanley. He spots out the head, but he can't connect the shot. He's still repositioning as well. Bodomaster is fast to try and get into a more aggressive angle into the late round. He can try and go for the bomb plant. Capis holds his ground as well, wants to play with his teammate. Bodomaster, his highway goes back towards the main. A smart play from him. Stanley pretty going to be expecting the flank coming in from behind him right now. He backs up, but all he does is open himself up to an easy pick for Bodomaster. That's 3 frags into the round for him. That AWP was so critical to allowing Radix to start to pick these rounds up. 2 rounds away at this point from forcing out overtime. Method really need to try and stomp out this fire they're starting to light. 15 to 13 now. It's probably going to be the quasi buy coming in from Method, Techno Armor maybe. Actually, no, they're going to be forced into this one. This is quite strange because usually, Jack, in this scenario here, you got 2 rounds left. You would quasi this one. Techno Armor, maybe go for a B burst or the same thing you won in the first round when you won the force buy, and then have a very strong buy, AWPs for the utilities, AKs into the final round number 30. Instead, they're going to be forcing up things into both rounds. Double Tech 9 buy for Pulse and Nilzinho, 3 AKs for those the remaining T players. That's going to be the fate potentially towards the final obligation from the T side to end towards the speed bomb side. No frags found for either side just yet, as they still are holding their ground. They're attempting to gain as much map control as possible towards B. They have slipped Surreal in towards Sunroom. It's just a start. Capers actually backs off as well. No more aggressive stance on display for him. And this is where they need to try and force out that rotate. Yeah, both the Tech 9s, one is in Pulse. Pulse was door and Nilzinho towards their main. They're the ones selling the fake right now, but unfortunately for them, they haven't gone out of door just yet, so they're not really going to be selling much here. 2 players still staying. It's going to be Capers towards Checkers. Can he hold the line here?
and stop Method from reaching round 16.
They tried to go for more of a contact style approach now. K-Pierce peeks into it as well. He thought he'd find these frags, but Surreal instantly slices his head clean off. Dream, though, luckily enough, Surreal will overface towards him. Nilzini with a beautiful shot with the Tech 9ers from so much distance finds the fragment towards Bodemaster. Everyone's getting picked off as well. Radix, they were looking like they were on form to try and force this into OT, but right now they're looking like they're on form to lose the game, as it's just left on Neff. 1 versus 4 of an M4. Unfortunately, he will fall. A Method, they do close it out. It looked like it was starting to sway back into the favor of Radix, but Method sorted out the issues towards the end there. That contact B approach worked out in their favor, and they do lock it down.
Yeah, still a good score on there from Radix, of course. I believe they are 1-2 now. They only win